Hi Libra, welcome to a relationship reading for July 2019 called Where Did Our Love Go? It's always hard when I come up with these cute little titles because I don't know how to say it when I'm introducing the reading. By the way, I know there's a lot of, it's kind of, I haven't turned on all my lights because it's after midnight, but hopefully you can still see. I just don't feel like having bright lights because I really need to get to bed. As fun as it is to do tarot readings at 12:30 at night. I've been getting that Ace of Swords over and over again, but maybe because of this type of reading, it should be expected to keep getting the same old. Pick an additional card, the nature of that card. Okay. Okay, the crux of the problem, this is a spread that I devised a few days ago. And the crux of the problem is the Two of Cups. This can have different possibilities. This can be a card of commitment issues. Maybe you're with somebody and you've put in a lot of time and they still are dragging their feet. They don't want to commit. And who knows, maybe you are waiting for them to be the one to say, let's get married, let's move in together, whatever. And you're feeling that sense of frustration because in some cases, people are together for years waiting for this. And Libra is definitely a sign. You rule the 7th house of committed partnership or marriage. So your default relationship desire is marriage or the equivalent. I think most of you don't want to just casually date somebody. You want to be a couple. The other possibility is that you are pining away for somebody in your past that you feel is your true soulmate or your true twin flame. In the past position, we have the Eight of Wands. Now, this is a card of haste. You may have gotten involved with somebody too soon. I would even say on the rebound. And so the whole relationship has been a reaction to perhaps your true love, who may have gone off with somebody else, or simply, I guess in some cases, maybe they even passed away. Like if you are a widow or widower. But even in those cases, I feel like, so it's like your heart is still with that other person that you were married to or coupled with in the past. Excuse me. So, yeah, when I see the Eight of Wands, I do think of somebody who is just hastily getting together with somebody. It's kind of like reacting to that situation by, if you felt like rejected by somebody who got married to somebody else or left you for somebody else. One thing I think is kind of unusual, I don't want to say just strange, like weird, but I do think it is kind of, I guess I do kind of think it's weird. Sometimes people will say that their twin flame is with somebody else. And I'm like, I don't care what, then I don't want a twin flame. If there was somebody else, then they can, I'll take a non-twin flame, because who wants somebody who's with somebody else? that to me is a deal breaker. I don't know. That's just my feeling. And the spiritual insight is the Ace of Swords, the need for mental clarity. I've been getting this card over and over again. So in these troubled love relationships, there's probably a lot of wishful thinking, muddled thinking, and, denial taking place. And what denial does is it leaves you in la la land where you can, create an alternative version of reality. And perhaps it feels kind of good to do that. But in fact, you're really just fooling yourself. You're not really dealing with the situation as it is. Being positive is a wonderful thing, but you have to see things as they are, and that's kind of what the Ace of Swords is about. The higher message is represented by the Nine of Cups. I mean, not the higher message, the advice. The advice with the Nine of Cups is about, I think, following your bliss and choosing joy. And if for any reason you find yourself, Libra, in an unhappy place, if you have, rushed into something that you now feel was ill-advised, and when I say ill-advised, you advising yourself erroneously, then the best thing you can do is admit it. I think that's also what the Ace of Swords is about, is like, admitting if there's a situation that is not how it should be. Because life really is quite brief. And being unhappy in a relationship, just to say you're in a relationship, doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the long run. And can lead to, feeling oppressed, feeling depressed, and not getting what you want. The Nine of Cups is a feeling of satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. And there's a jovial quality to it. And you see some people, and they are in these relationships, and they are miserable. And they're miserable because they're not being authentic. They're living a lie. And, that's pretty sad. It really is. What to expect as a reaction if you go and you do this, what can you expect? Well, the Queen of Wands is a card of confidence. It's a card of, again, the wands relate to fire energy, and that connects with joy, zeal, enthusiasm for life. And that's why the sunflower is there. That feeling that you're aligned with what you want, and you feel that sense. There's always that, when you're doing what you feel you came here to do, so that would involve your life path, and you're with a person who supports that, there is a sense of alignment. It doesn't mean that everything is perfect every day, but you feel a general sense of being on the right track. And that's what alignment to me means. And also, the Queen of Wands is about confidence. And feeling confident isn't about feeling cocky. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin. The outcome is the Four of Cups. Now, actually, the number 4 is a number of stability. So this doesn't have to be a bad card. I do always seem to pick an extra card when I get the Four of Cups. But in fact, this could simply be that rather than, that you can have a relationship that is consistent and that's emotionally consistent. Maybe you've been with somebody where they blow hot and cold, or you never know where you stand with them. However, more often than not, I want to just pull this up again, because the expression on this person's face, and the clouds to me represent the universe offering love, and the person is stone-faced because they're not getting what they want. So they don't care if somebody else is giving them something. And I think that it's a cautionary card, that if you continue as you're going, you will become more and more disillusioned. You will become more and more disconnected with your life, more and more dissatisfied with it. And that's it doesn't go away because you refuse to look at it. I guess that's the bottom line. And I picked an additional card of a potential outcome, just because I don't want that to be the end-all be-all. I got the Knight of Swords, which is interesting because knights, apparently, from what I've read, connect with fire energy, and swords with the air. And you, of course, are an air sign. So the Knight of Swords is about telling it like it is, being that kind of person who is authentic. I think Libra, that's the one area that a lot of Librans struggle with, is being straightforward. You tend to be the diplomat, the person who wants to make sure that no one gets their feathers ruffled. And I've said this before, that the irony is, in my observation of Libra people that I have known, is that a lot of times they attract drama because of this tendency. Because if you're afraid of something and you go out of your way to try to, mitigate, like, I don't want people to be upset with me, and then you try to do everything you can to prevent it, and it seems to be even more the case for you. Well, that's because it's not something for you to be afraid of. And you have to, and actually, every time you try to, keep the peace when it's not meant to be peaceful, that creates problems. Because you know what? I know I don't like it when somebody tells me, doesn't want me to actually have, a heated conversation with somebody because it makes them nervous, when in fact it's a real conversation. It's not, suppressing emotions. And so this means that you might be more outspoken, and that would be an improvement for you, and that would help you to possibly break away from a relationship if you feel that it was entered into hastily because you were on the rebound, perhaps, and that you really have your heart connected to somebody else. That was one of the things that I really thought was probable with this one. But anyway, Libra, I hope that at least some of this made sense or resonated. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. I hope you have a great July. Take care. Bye.